Welcome back to the Run Radio podcast. My name's Trina, and my guest today is Troy, aka Pork, from the Cool Out Corner. Welcome.
Hi, thank you very much. Thank you for letting me be here.
So, we have podcasting in common, and I think it is very interesting to talk to other podcasters to help not only promote each other, but also just like kind of we have this understanding with one another, what it's like to interview people, what it's like to try to keep engagement up and all that kind of stuff. So what really got you into podcasting in the first place?
So me and my friend L, we met in college back in '09, and we was in the band together, and that's how we started our friendship. And so, like a long time ago, I know it's bad, kids, if you listening to this, go to class. But there was some days where me and L would not go to class, and we'll just sit in the room and just like crack jokes and talk or whatever. And so we built a friendship from '09 up until now. And when COVID hit, we was like, why not make a podcast? Because we was funny, and we was like, sometimes some of these things that we say, it needs to be heard out in the masses. And so that's how we came up on the podcast. It just like COVID happened, and it just took us that confidence to be like, let's just do it now. We could have probably been started a long time ago, but we did it right then and there. We had nothing else to do, so why not start one then? So that's how I came up.
Now, like a lot of us, you probably, or maybe not, do you have other things that you do to pay the bills while you do the podcasting?
Oh, yeah, we all have to go to work. That that
That's
that don't stop at all.
right.
So, but I mean, we do the podcasting because one, it's therapy, and we was going through a tough, well, we still are, but going through a tough time, and it was sad. So it's like we want people to laugh,
Yeah.
and anything we can do to make somebody laugh, that's what our goal was, and we're fulfilling that dream, and we're making people laugh, so that's why we still do it. And if money is, wanting to be on the table for that, or a sponsor here and there just to keep that going, then we're going to do it.
For
So,
sure.
yeah.
And I think one of the things, we're both from the Midwest. And,
Hmm.
what I like about the way technology has evolved is it gives us this reach that, not all of us are on the coast or can afford to go to the big
Right.
cities to make things happen. And I feel like it kind of gives us that touch that we
It
would have never
does.
had before. Do you feel that way too?
I do. Like, I've met so many people just doing the podcast, and that I never thought I would meet. Like, I've met people who listen to, I don't even know how, never promoted it over there, but people listen in Ireland to my show before,
Cool.
and I've met them, and so podcasting done a lot for me, and meeting new
Hmm.
people in places I thought I would never go, probably won't go. So it's helped out a lot. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I love the relationships and like you said, just meeting people that you would have never met or talked to.
Right.
Um, you guys like work together a lot with comedy. How much time do you put into preparing that? Or are you just flying off the cuff when you open the mic?
So me and L, and we do have another co-host, Minnie Meeks, but she is like, sometimes we throw her in on the day of, because me and her do a lot of debating. So I don't always want to let Meeks know what we're talking about. So me and Elle will know. And we talk every day. It's like my brother. We talk every day. And we may see something trending out here, and I'll jot it down in my notepad in my phone. Or if we're having conversation, we can have something and something to click. And I'm like, man, that can be a topic. I'm gonna throw that in the notepad. So we do an episode every week. Every Sunday we do one. And so from the sun after we do the podcast up until really Sunday, every day we're finding something just to talk about. And then I have like tons of topics, but it goes based on how the conversation's going on the show. And then like half the time we won't even get through the notes. We'll
Yeah.
just freestyle it off the head, just how the conversation goes. That's just, it feels like it's making it authentic. That's how I
Yeah.
feel. Like we have the topics there just in case we don't have nothing to talk about. But most of the time, it's off the head, and that's the best part because nobody knows where we're coming from. You never know the next topic or what we're going to say. So that's the best part about the cool out corner right there.
Now, are your topics usually, what are they usually about? Are you going pop culture? What do you kind of focus in on?
We focus on really some pop culture and a lot of just like real life situations. I mean, like relationships, sex, and whatever you can think of. The only thing we don't talk about, which somehow sometimes still gets in there, is politics and religion. But the reason why we don't talk about it is because there's so many people with emotions, and we don't want to step on nobody's toes when it
Yeah.
comes to religion or anything about that. So we let that go. But everything else is it's mainly music, culture, pop culture, trending topics, and just life. I mean, there's so much stuff going on right here where everybody can relate to it. So whether it's like good or bad, like I said, we also want people to laugh. So even if it's a bad, you know, topic, situation, whatever, we will talk about it. But at the same time, we're going to try to find a way to flip it and make it funny. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, we want people to laugh. So even if you are going through a trying time, like a death or just whatever you feeling bad about, we're going to talk about it, but we're still going to make it funny so you can, find peace. That's how we do our
Yeah.
show.
I mean, dealing with stuff with humor. That's what I was going to ask you too, was if you ever had a topic turn heavy and how you
Hmm.
handled that.
So the way what people say on our podcast, it's like they say that L is the comedic relief person.
Okay.
I'm the one who can keep it online, in line trying to, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna come back to the topic. And Mix is somewhat like me too, and she throws some funny stuff in there too. So I feel like when it's something heavy, out, me and Meeks will talk about it because we're debating, but then Ella will come in with something funny and we'll just take it back to the funny route. So we all have that balance, and everybody, it's like an alley oop to me. I throw something up and I know Elle's gonna come and dunk it with a joke. So that's how we kind of get through those heavy topics. I know he's gonna come sometime soon with something funny, and we
Yeah.
keep it going.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how
That's
that
cool.
works.
That's good. How have you felt with like all keeping up on your social media along with this? Has that been a struggle for you or pretty easy?
It's a struggle
Yeah.
because I don't like to juggle so many social media accounts like that because it's just too much work sometimes. It really is. But for me, in order to promote the podcast, I mean, I have to do what I have to do. But I tend to focus more on Instagram, promoting it more because that's where we've got most of our run-ins with
Hmm.
people and meeting new people. And so I try to tend. It's hard, but I try to do my best to stay on top of my
Yeah.
social media accounts. So yeah, it's tough though.
Are
But I
y'all
make it
on
work.
TikTok?
I am, but it's hard to stay on there because like I guess I don't know. This is some of the clips that we do post or that I post. It gets muted, and so I have to go and appeal it, and I'm like, all these
Oh,
other
yeah.
TikTok accounts, that's crazy out here. Y'all just let them go, and we just have, we do audio and visual, but when I post clips on TikTok, majority of the time it's always visual. I just have
Yeah.
like, the picture up, so I'm just like I'm at a battle with TikTok
Yeah.
and if I want to keep trying to post on there. But I do have one for us on there, and but that's one of those social media accounts where I'm just like I'm gonna just go on there just to watch other videos sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I
Right.
post clips here and there, but I don't really mess with it like that for that purpose. So
Well,
yeah.
like you, it can be a lot to keep up on when you're looking like for some relief, some relaxation, but then you feel the pressure of, oh no, I need to be doing it for my podcast and all this kind of
Right.
stuff. And it's a lot. So do you find yourselves, do you have to make yourself take breaks sometimes from all of it? Or are you pretty good at like just putting it all down for a while?
Um, I have to find breaks because if I don't, I go crazy.
Mm,
But at the same time, I know that this is, I mean, honestly, what a lot of people don't understand is even though this may not be paying your bills, this is a job.
yes.
And if you have people following you and you don't provide like information about anything or whatever, they're hey, what's going on? This and this and this. So I do try to find time to take breaks, and I do have kids, so they're going to make sure I get a break
Yeah,
because they're going to
you
want
bet.
my attention too. And so it is hard sometimes, but I mean, if I can put the phone down, then that's my break.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm on top of my game and staying ahead, and posting this, introducing myself to new people, networking with people. So
Yeah.
if I can get a few people that I've never met before on, talking about the show, then I'm doing my job. And then once I do that, then I can set the phone down and go do something else for a little bit. So I mean, it's hard, but to me, it's not that hard. Once I put that phone down,
Yeah.
it's smooth sailing for me.
Yeah. You definitely, there is that feeling of the responsibility to the audience you've built, and you do want to keep that relationship,
Yes,
so it's because we really appreciate the people that take the time to, to appreciate what we've created for them to watch.
exactly,
So yeah, yeah, I feel you.
exactly.
What about, let's talk a little bit about like your setup and your studio, or how have you, what's the best setup that's been working for you? Do you guys find a spot and all meet? Do you use Zoom a lot, or how are you running your operation?
So the crazy part about our pod is both of my co-hosts live in Kansas City and
Right.
I'm in
Okay.
Springfield. So we use Zoom a lot, but we've been trying this year for like maybe every month. We have been coming, well, they come down here and we'll go to a studio and do
Okay.
our studio episodes. And so it's been working very well, and people love our studio episodes. And so we're trying our best to drop more studio episodes and Zoom
Yeah.
episodes. I mean, along with my thing with the Zoom is we have so many people who want to be on the show, and they're beyond far away, close away from the Midwest. I'm like, well, we can just use a Zoom.
Yeah.
It's very quick. It's right there. But we do like doing the studio better because everybody is there and you can feed off of each other's vibe
Yeah.
better in person.
It is
But
different.
it is it's amazing at the same time. But right now we doing what we got to do, and Zoom has been what we've been using for the past 3 years. So
Yeah.
it's helped very well.
Yeah,
So
it is a
yeah,
great tool. I'm with you. I really like it because there are interviews I would have never got to have if it weren't
exactly.
for. But then there is something about getting people together in the same spot and
Hmm.
having that conversation. I'm getting ready to do a feature where it's like a brunch, and we're going to go to this restaurant and try to get things set up.
I love
But
that.
you're what physical studio are you going to here in Springfield?
Oh my
Or are you
gosh.
making, is it one that actually already has this full setup?
No, I met
Mhm.
these people who they run Marty's Sports Bar off of
Okay,
South Campbell, and they have a studio that they use in their garage, and
got
they've
you.
been so kind and generous to like help us out with that. And so I appreciate them so much for that. So
Yeah,
shout out to Backbeat Productions for letting us use their studio.
good.
So
That's
yeah.
great. That
Oh yeah.
I got to be a guest on the Rico podcast, and I know the gentleman from networking. I don't know if you've ever been to
Hmm.
1 Million Cups. I think you should go to that if you
No, I
haven't.
haven't.
It's so laid back and relaxed. Anyway, point being, I was on their podcast, tiny little spot in his garage, but he has it. You wouldn't know. It's just really
Right.
cool. How, and I love how people are getting so creative with their space and everything.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I love it. So I'm with you. We've got access to so many things. What would you like to see for your space? Do you want your own space, or what do
Yes,
you?
we have been talking about that because I know they probably get on their nerves sometime. Like, hey, we come here every month, but they know they don't mind it because I think we gave them that spark back for them to continue to do their podcast. Because I know they had one at one
Mhm.
time, and they was like, we're kind of doing nothing with the studio, so if you want to come in, that's fine. And so I know eventually with time we are going to want our own podcast. I mean, our own studio too.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have been talking about that throughout the time. So eventually, we would like to have our own little space too. Just to call ours. We
Yeah.
can just come in here whenever. If my friends came at night, we can go and do a show at 1 o'clock in the morning if we chose. You know what I'm saying? So
I
that
know.
way it can be our deal. So with time, we are trying to start our own studio,
Yeah.
and that's a process. That's a
Yeah.
big process.
And have
All the
everything
equipment you
set
got to
up so you
buy.
don't. Yes,
Yes.
I don't think
It's,
the number of people that have said, "Yeah, I want to start a podcast." To me, you've probably heard the same thing. Oh, yeah, I
oh
was
my
thinking
gosh,
about a
yes.
podcast. And yes, it's kind of easy just to record, but the whole setup and process. I hear a little tyke that wants to be on the
Oh yeah,
podcast. Let's
she does.
say hello.
Yes. Hi, say hi, Jetta. She got no clothes on right now. Just woke up.
Hey.
But yes, you can continue though.
But yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people don't realize how much really does go into getting the equipment set up and all of the making sure the sound quality is decent. I mean,
Yes. Oh my, so
it's a
many sound checks.
yes, yes.
It is.
What was one of the biggest things that you guys had to work to get better at?
Um, let me see. That is a good question. Honestly, to get better at. That's hard because I feel like we're okay. I think it's more of maybe coming up with more, and this is crazy to say, but more conversations. Like
Yeah.
we do very well with what we do, but I think we just gotta be more disciplined because I know we can probably dish out more episodes, like especially when we're in the studio. We
Yeah.
like just take the time because like doing pre-podding, you're cracking jokes and doing this, getting yourself ready. And it's like we can be there in the studio for like 2 hours, just
Yeah.
doing just one. So it's like we can probably do better and like stopping our conversation within an hour so we can do 2 episodes. So I think that's like one of the things that we need to do better on, or we can do better on. But other than that, though, I mean, I think we kind of do pretty well with what we've done,
Good.
with what we've been on so far. So, yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time on post production?
Mm, no. The reason why
Yeah.
I say that is because we've made it a point when we first started the podcast. Like I said earlier, we want to be authentic
Mm-hmm.
and organic. So it's like we let people know unless it's a studio episode where certain things has to be edited out. When we
Yeah.
do like a Zoom, I'm like, hey, whatever said is said, no edit, because that's what people like the most. They like that
Yeah.
authentic stuff because like I say, you never know what's going to happen, you never know what's going to be said. So I say we spend more time doing pre stuff before after post because once I do that, I'm putting in the title, the name in, the description, what it's about, and I'm just sending it off.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not doing. I don't want to do any edits because I know certain things. People feel like certain things should be edited, but it's like at the same time we're like raw with ours.
Yeah.
It's still a good thing, but that's when I talk to people who listen to our show from beginning till now, they like that.
Mm-hmm.
They because it's like, hey, I feel like it's just they feel like they're sitting with us in the room
Yeah.
and talking with us. So they feel like, okay, if it's not edited, then it's actually really happening like that and it's going. So I don't spend no time doing the post edit. Should I? I mean, should I do that? Of course. But that's not who our podcast, that's not what we
Yeah.
do, you know? That's not
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. So are your podcasts, when you put them out, are they an hour, or do you have a set time for your podcast?
We do try to tend to stay to an hour.
Okay.
It sometimes varies on the conversation that we do have, but for the most part, I think the longest we've gone maybe was like an hour 45. But for the most
Yeah.
part, we do try to tend to stay right at an hour.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. That's great. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I've appreciated the podcast chat. If you ever want to come back and bring your co-host, we can talk even more about
For sure.
podcasting. It's great. I want people to be able to find you and listen to yours. So tell them where they can find you.
Okay, you can find us on all DSPs at the Cool Out Corner podcast. We record every Sunday and drop episodes every Sunday. No edits, so we're authentic and raw. A comedy podcast. If you want to laugh, come and follow us. I guarantee you will have a good time over here with us.
Yeah, be sure you are listening Sunday. It's not safe for work. There's some language.
Oh,
It's all
you
fun.
right, and put the kids to bed sometime.
Yeah,
Yes.
the best. Thank you so
Yes.
much for reaching out and connecting. And I hope you have so much success and keep having fun with it.
Thank you very much. I thank you for letting me come on here.
Have a great one.
You as well.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.